So, Coach, how do you think today's session of spring football went?
Oh, I'll have to watch the film. We're just working our way through our install, trying to get all of our calls in, get our calls ripped. We don't game plan for the offense or any of that stuff. So, there's some things that we call that might not be good against what they're doing that we're just trying to get ripped and get our guys to get exposed to some things. And maybe it shows them why we shouldn't call things against what they do. But I thought our energy, our attitude, our effort, now we'll have to grade it, but I thought our effort was better than the other day. I thought we fell off a little bit the last practice in terms of effort and energy, and I thought it was a lot better today. I can tell you we have to tackle better than we did today, and we had been up until today, which was a little strange. We got to have a little tighter coverage in certain situations. So, there's ups and downs every day, and today's no different than any other day. There's going to be some good things that we see and some things we need to focus on improving.
Coach, can you talk about Latrell Jean and how he's been able to really step up as a veteran leader for a young Owls team?
Yeah, Latrell's doing a good job. He's bouncing around with the ones and the twos. There's a lot of competition here. There's a lot of good players, and there's some other guys that have really stepped up. And like we tell the guys, every day's a tryout. So I think that's made the whole group better, from back end to front end. And he's doing a good job. He's one of the more vocal guys. So when the energy's down, he picks them up. And when the energy's up, he keeps them up. He does a good job with that.
Speaking about leadership, can you talk about Jackson Ambush and how he kind of rubs off on some of the young guys like Hesley?
Jackson Ambush is the unqualified leader of our defense and maybe our football team. He's the guy that everybody listens to. When he speaks, everyone listens. And there's a good reason for that because he handles himself like a grown man in everything he does. He's never an issue, does great in school, a positive representative of our football program everywhere he goes. He's a grown man, and the guys know that, so they respect him. So when he says something, they have to listen. They have no choice.
What areas are you seeing the most improvement out of from the defense?
Most improvement, I think, is really just the competition, bringing in better players than what we had, honestly, has made everybody have to step their game up. So I think that makes the guys that we had better, the guys that we brought in are better, and then I think it helps you with depth, right? So that's the challenge, is to continue taking steps forward individually and as a group the rest of the spring. I think our coverage is a lot better than it was a year ago. I think we have better guys on the back end doing the things they're coached to do, and that's where really it all starts, because we got pretty much the same group of front seven guys back, and they're playing at a pretty good level. So overall, halfway through, pretty pleased with the direction we're going, but we got a lot of work to do.
You spoke about how the front seven is the same. However, we have a really revamped secondary. Mm-hmm. Can you talk? I personally saw guys like Bugs Brown and Debo have some very solid showings today during one-on-ones. Can you talk about just the secondary's progression as a whole?
Yeah, I didn't get to see the one-on-ones, but I saw some good things in team out of Debo. Bugs had a couple of really good plays. Bugs is like Ambush in a lot of ways. Came from an FCS school, grown man, has graduated, has grown man qualities, mature, leadership qualities. And I think his presence, along with Goggins coming in at the corner spot, has really upped the level of all of them, because they know we have good players that can replace them. Philip Dunham is another guy that's come in and from day one moved into the free safety role, and he's one of our better football players, and I'm really anxious to see him keep growing, not only as a player but as a leader. I think overall the depth in our secondary is pretty damn good right now, but it's going to be better in the fall when we have four newcomers that still have to get here, and that'll increase the competition even more than it's been. So I'm very, very encouraged with the back end. And again, I've said it before, I'll say it again, I can't say enough about Brandon Harris, Derek Gibson, Jordan Helm, and Colin Spencer. Those guys are really leading that group in the back end and doing a great job with them. They have responded to their coaching. They want to be coached, and I've seen a lot of maturity, and I love that about the secondary.
Coach, you talked about how the defense needs to create more takeaways. I think 30 was the number you said that they need to get to. Where does that start?
Yeah, I think, 30 is our goal. We had, 18 this year, right? And I think 30 led our conference. So it wasn't an arbitrary number. I had 52 one year as a coordinator. So where does it start? It starts with an emphasis. I have to do a better job of emphasizing it and getting that mindset to be about taking the ball away. So whether it's a drill in practice, a team period in practice, you know, the ball's up in the air, it's gotta be my ball, all right? And if the guys wrapped up, we had Lawrence Johnson come in there today and rip a ball out. And so we've been emphasizing it a little bit more, but really what's gonna make it happen is those guys on the field really believing that they're gonna go take the ball away and then go get it. Yep, thank you.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Coach.
you guys. Have a great Easter.
Thank you.
All right. So, Armani, how do you think that today's session of spring football went for you guys?
Say today?
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me follow this real quick. Alright.
How do you think today's session for spring football went for you guys?
Today we had a lot of ups and downs. You know, we gave up, you know, a few explosives. There was times where we did good, and there was times where offense had a lot of explosives. They threw some new things at us, and we got to adjust to it on Tuesday, I believe. So, you know, just a learning point that we got to look forward to on Tuesday so we can get better.
Armani, you're a veteran leader of a very young secondary. Can you talk about just like things that you've worked on with the underclassmen to just help them prepare for playing college football?
More so just formation recognition. You know, a lot of the times if they could just dissect the formation before the play happens, it'll allow them to understand what concepts they can get before the play happens, and it'll just make their life easier because they'll know what to expect. It'll also help them key in on their keys, you know, so it'll help them put themselves in a better situation to make a play.
Obviously, last year was a difficult one for you. 2 games in, then you go down with injury. What have you done to like bounce back from that, like getting yourself back up to speed with how the team's doing and like being much better heading into next season?
Really just getting extra work, just doing extra work with Zach, Joey, you know, coming back and doing rehab and treatment, you know, just to make sure I'm full speed. I'm still trying to get back to how I was before, so, you know, it's a long process, but I'm still trying to get a feel back for it.
How would you describe the competition level between you and your teammates at the safety position?
I mean, we compete, you know, it's not, oh, you won this or you won that, like, you know, every day is a trial, like Coach Roc says, so there's an open trial every day, so if you don't perform, then obviously you're going to get moved down in the depth chart, and if you do perform, if you do perform well, then you're going to get moved up, of course, so every day is a trial, so you can't relax for real.
One player who transferred in was Phillip Dunham at the safety position. Can you talk about him and playing alongside him and what he brings to the safety position?
Phillip, he got a lot of instincts. He plays fast, plays aggressive. You know, he has good ball skills, taller than me. So I think he'll be a good addition to us. He has experience, which is good. So it's just, for him, it's just, you know, understanding the playbook, of course, because, you know, he just got here 2 or 3 months in. But for the most part, he has a good feel for the game.
Can you talk about coming back to the same system that you played in last year with Coach Bellantoni being here again?
I think it's great. You know, I've never had a defensive coordinator for more than 1 year. I've had 8 defensive coordinators in 7 years. Because when I first signed here, I had Chris Kiffin, and right after I signed, I had Coach Peck. So I've never had a defensive coordinator longer than 9 months. So to have Coach Roc for 2 years, that's a blessing because now you have more guys that can be bought into the system and understand the system, and it's less room for error because you know the playbook, you should know the playbook, and I think it'll help people play faster to where, you know, I just think it's better.
Coach Roc talked earlier about the goal for the whole defense is 30 turnovers next year. How many of those are you going to cause?
And it's not about me, it's about the team. So if I can contribute, which I think I should, then I mean, that's cool, but it's a team, so it doesn't matter who gets it or how we get it. As long as everybody do their job, everybody gonna eat. So it don't even matter for real who get it, as long as we get it.
It's a line.
So CJ, coming over from Tallahassee to Boca Raton. How are you enjoying your time at FAU so far?
I mean, I'm enjoying it. The area is nice. Beautiful weather all the time. It's not as cold. It's always sunny. You got palm trees everywhere, and everybody around here has just been so welcoming. So I'm really enjoying my transition.
What do you think the biggest thing that you've taken from Tally and brought to Boca has been?
I think the biggest thing is not just my playmaking ability, but my leadership and the intensity, and knowing how the offense is supposed to be ran and the speed at which you have to play and able to be successful. Just being able to come in and be a leader as well, just trying to lead the guys and show them how to be disciplined and do everything right to where there's no margin for error, and we can be an explosive offense.
You got to witness FSU go undefeated in the regular season and win the conference championship. How would you describe that overall experience for you, and how do you plan on implementing that winning culture, winning mentality to FAU?
Then on the experience that I was a big part of it, I was given some roles and I just played my role. So just being able to experience that, knowing that, I wasn't the superstar there. I wasn't, the go-to guy. It was more of you get your job done and everything else is going to take care of itself. If the guys get their job done, we'll be successful. So it was more of it wasn't like we didn't go into each week thinking, we got to win this game and the next game. It was more like we go into each rep, and it was just like, win that rep. Then as the next rep come on, you win that rep as well. So it was more of who we have this week, who we have to play this week, get that taken care of, then next week will work by itself. Just being in the moment and enjoying the moment as well.
What are some early takeaways learning Coach Frye's offense, and what do you like about it?
Some early takeaways is very versatile. We got receivers that can make plays. We got running backs as well that, we got a pretty stacked room, kind of similar to what we had at Florida State. The O-line's been working pretty hard, so everybody's just coming together, starting to gel. So just us being able to throw the ball, run the ball, and have quarterbacks who can also run and open up things for not only the run game, but for running backs, but the passing game for the receivers as well. Just being able to extend those plays and be explosive. That's the biggest thing.
Speaking about that Florida State running back room, one of those guys is Trey Benson, who's going to be drafted real early in this NFL draft. What did you learn from him? What are some leadership qualities he has?
Yeah, so Trey Benson, he wasn't always the most vocal leader, but he always led by example. The way he did things, he ran 100% every time. If he messed up on something and it caused somebody else to have a negative play, he was very hard on himself to make sure that he didn't make that same mistake again. So that just, being able to lead by example and taking ownership was was his biggest leadership qualities, And not only that, he was a good dude outside of football. He made sure everybody was all right. If he had anything to help anybody else, he would go out there and help them as well. He's going to be a great guy wherever he goes in the league.
Last year, your role when you were at Florida State, you were playing a lot of special teams and you made a lot of impact plays there. What are some things you kind of bring with you when you do want to play special teams here, anything to help the team?
I'm a core four guy. I enjoy special teams. As a running back, if you want to make it to the NFL, you have to be able to play special teams. You're not going to always be, the every down back guy, and things like that. So you have to know your role. Just being able to play my role there and learning all the fundamentals that help me overall be a better football player on the offensive side as well.
Last year, FAU had a very loaded running back room with Larry, Kobe, Zuberi. Can you just talk about, like we've all been talking about, just veteran leadership, being able to build into a young, new offense?
Yeah, veteran leadership, Zuberi's still here. I would consider Zuberi a veteran. I'm coming from Florida State for a few years, so I would consider myself a veteran as well. So just knowing how the speed of the game, just helping the younger guys get adjusted to the speed. Because once you get adjusted to the speed, then everything else slows down for you. You're able to see things a lot better. You're able to make your reads a lot easier and things like that, and just be more confident in their play. So the more confident they are, the bigger plays they make. Since I've been here, I've been with Sands a lot. Just telling Sands, don't worry about the next play, just worry about what you have here, and just make sure everything goes great.
Thanks, CJ.
Yes.
How's practice been this week, and what are some things you're looking to work on so far?
Practice been going good this week. It's what I noticed. Offense been growing every day. We've been getting a little bit better. Even defensive side of the ball, from every position, from the O line to receivers, quarterback. I just feel like everybody been getting better at their job, so it's been making the execution of the whole offense easier.
What's the type of feedback that the coaches have been giving you throughout each session as you guys continue to get better?
Just know your role, play at 100%, don't overthink, and just help the guys around you, and then everything will lead on. After that.
Jay, over the past couple weeks, you've really shined throughout spring ball. Coach Carter's been hyping you up via social media, and then former Owls like LeJontay and Bert have been really just singing your praises. Can you just talk about the hard work and dedication you've put in throughout the past couple of years to get you to this moment?
Yeah, just past 2 years I've been here, just the veterans, the seniors I've been around, Jaquan Burt, LeJontay Wester, BJ still here. That just really helped me and helped me with the work ethic, off-season training, all that just ties into what I'm doing now.
It's a completely new receiver room. What are some things that the new guys bring in that maybe are a little different from last year?
The new guys bring in, I say it's really not too much different, but because it's always different in between groups. People are always different, but I say that receiver group is getting better every day. Like blocking, catching, just knowing your role. I feel like all around we're getting better each day.
What area of your game are you looking to make the most improvement in?
You say it one more time?
What area in your game are you looking to make the most improvement?
Really leadership though. Just taking what I learned from the past 2 years with a great receiver group I've been with and bringing it over to this receiver group and teaching them all I can, getting them better.
Where do you prefer to work? Do you like working on the outside? Do you like working in the slot, or you don't really have a preference?
Just whatever helps offense. Yeah, appreciate it.
So, Coach, third week of spring football under wraps. What are your thoughts on how the offense has done throughout this week?
Yeah, I think we've seen growth. I think guys are competing hard. 3 practices this week, so a lot of opportunities, a lot of different situations. And, just today, for example, we had, we spent time in the low red area with the team run period. Guys flying around and trying to get the ball in the end zone. And we had a great third down period against the defense. And then we played, scrimmaged a little bit. So a lot of different situations showing up and guys making plays out there, flying around and competing their ass off.
Coach, this is a completely new offense from last year. Can you talk about how in the past 3 weeks, but also throughout all the offseason, this core has just been able to mesh and gel?
Yeah, no, I think, that's kind of the dynamic now in college football is, free agency in the NFL or the portal in college football. It's trying to, first and foremost, get to know each other, right? And that's done in January and February with, the winter conditioning, spending time lifting weights with each other and meetings, introducing the offense, and essentially you're starting from ground zero. A lot of new faces, just trying to teach them the system and give them to buy into what you're doing, and at the end of the day, we're here to help. We're here to teach. We're here to make them better players, develop them into who they want to be as a young man.
Coach, you talked about a lot of new faces, a lot of new names. Does the system stay the same, or does the system change a little bit, or maybe is the ball just distributed in some different areas?
I just think the system is just that word is overrated. It's a player's game. It's always going to be a player's game, and as a coach, you're just trying to put them in the best situation to have success. So you look at the pieces, and that's kind of what these first 3 weeks have been, was just seeing what are the guys good at, and then just try and emphasize those things that they're good at, and if we want to do some other things, introduce them the next week. So system is doing what your guys are good at.
Looking at the running back room, obviously there are the departures in Larry McCam and Kobe Lewis, but there are the returning guys in Zuberi, Xavier Terrell, and Tamari Sands. What have you seen from the running back room that have really impressed you so far throughout spring camp?
The biggest thing I've seen is the home run capability. Being able to take plays to the house. Create explosive runs, and when they get in the open field, be able to finish in the end zone. The guys run hard. Coach Burt does a hell of a job with them. Get them dialed in, and the running is one thing, but what's impressed me with those especially the young guys, was how in tune they are in the protection game. You know, listening to the ID and putting hats on linebackers. So I'm really excited with that group this year. You know, I think they're going to have a great year.
Which players have stood out to you the most from
Yeah, I
that
think
group?
Sands has shown the ability to, he has that make you miss ability. You know, Zoo's been, you know, kind of limited a little bit in the blue jersey, but, you know, he's got, you know, we took that off him today and he was able to break some tackles and those things. X, we haven't seen him yet, you know, but CJ's came in and I just remember a play from the scrimmage. We're running outside zone left, and I think I counted four. He broke 4 tackles on the way down and got the ball inside the 5. So that's really showing up. The kids play hard. It means a lot to them, and I think all of them are 3-dimensional backs, meaning they can run, protect, and catch.
Coach, it might be too early, but you talked about, you know, doing what your offensive players do best. Do you know what you think your offensive players do best, or?
I think that's what spring ball is for.
Yeah.
You know, that's, you know, like I said, with as much turnover that you're having, it's, you know, evaluating the film and seeing what they can handle and just growing from there.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, Cam, you got it.
So Cam, going over from Marshall to FAU, how have you enjoyed your transition to playing for the Owls?
I loved it. You know, whenever you can wake up on the right side of the dirt and be able to play the game you love, it's a good day. So just being able to play the sport that I love daily is the biggest thing.
Cam, can you talk about what are you looking to bring to this offense and for this team in 2024?
Really just, can you say that question again? My bad.
What's the biggest point of emphasis that you're looking to bring to this team?
You know, for me, I feel like my job is just to make each play successful, taking it one play at a time, one rep at a time, one day at a time. So at the end of the day, I feel like my job is to just make each play successful and find a way to make it successful.
Cam, when you entered the transfer portal, what were some of the main things you were looking for your next program that you were going to enter?
Just a place that's going to help me improve my game on and off the field as a person, as a player, as a student. A place that I feel comfortable with, the staff that I feel comfortable with, and just being able to play at a high level and compete for championships.
How did Coach Herman approach you with the concept of playing for the Owls and like competing for that quarterback spot?
He just said that I could have an opportunity to come in and, you know, if I do what I do, come in and be the quarterback, but really just take the day to day, or day by day, one day at a time.
How have you enjoyed the competition with Tariq Starks, Michael Johnson Jr.,
It's
Luke
good. I feel
Rucker?
like the whole room elevates each other. We all work as a unit and are just pushing each other each day to be better.
If I'm not mistaken, you went to high school with Elijah Brown.
I did.
Did he kind of have a little bit of a say, kind of help you come here, transition a little bit?
He helped me kind of get in contact with him, but you know, having him, he's made this transition a lot easier. Having a guy that you grew up with, and also lives with me, so you know, having him just made the transition a lot easier.
There aren't many lefty quarterbacks, but one of them is in the league, Tua Tagovailoa, and Coach Frye worked with him. Did that kind of help you a little bit? Maybe that he could have a lefty that has had some success?
I mean, definitely. He's seen it through a lefty perspective before, so it's not something brand new for him. But yeah, for sure.
Thanks, Cam.
Thanks, Cam.